lobby.
Yes. And we have Mr. Licensed Grappler. So again, I don't have a splash screen for you. I'm sorry, I'm low-fi, low tech. But today we are actually going to modify this. So let me change this, update this on the title. First to 7 abound. There we go. So we're going to have some exhibitions today. Oh, I have to go into training mode to actually give the game audio back, because we're not going to be listening to whatever bullshit I have anymore. We're going to listen to game sound. But yes, so today we are going to have a showcase of the different Danisens, as well as tomorrow. I'm just not streaming that one. I think we're still gathering the components for everything for tomorrow. But for today's portion, this is going to be Midwest versus everybody. That is the general theme for the next one too, but we do have, I think, East Coast versus PNW as one of the sets. Um, we're still kind of figuring out everything with the Danison showcase and everything, but we thought it was a good idea this time because we have Combo Breaker this time coming next week even. It's like, hey, why not have the host region of the major in question,
Mm.
showcase their players against all comers? And so that has inspired us this time for these sets. So all of these sets today at least have a Midwest player versus another player. I think I told Mystic Juicer that I was originally trying to get Midwest versus 3 different regions, but you know, it is most convenient with certain weekends. I think Texas Showdown, or excuse me, not Texas Showdown, but Texas had a local. I think PNW also had a local today, and so it was a little easier to just kind of stay on the East Coast. Luful is actually going to be playing from the event that he's going to be at in Philadelphia against Miller. But in order, the sets that we have today are going to be Hitoi, who plays Yuzuriha in the Southeast, versus Licensed Grappler from the Midwest. We're going to have Lucy playing Phonon from the Midwest as well, versus Winter, who plays Batista. And then finally, we're going to finish with Miller 2B, Line versus Luful Phonon. So we have a double header of Phonon in this exhibition today. Originally, the first set that we were going to try to run was Miller versus Luful, but if anyone follows sports, the Knicks just beat the Celtics yesterday, and so traffic getting out of New York to Philadelphia, a little bit scuffed, so he's going to be a little later. The compromise that we worked on was instead of first to fives, which is what we were going to initially start with, we're going to move to first to 7. So all 3 of these sets today are going to be first to 7. We're going to lead off with Tui versus Licensed Grappler. That was long-winded. You guys already know who I am on Juushichi. I've hosted some of these before. I obviously run the Midwest Danisen, but I have a wonderful co-commentator who you heard just a little bit earlier
Hello.
in Wexler. Please introduce yourself.
Hey, how's it going, everyone? My name is Wexler. I'm from Minnesota. I've been playing Undernight since Undernight 2, pretty much. I was playing Uniclear a little bit, just like with folks who were close enough for the delay to work all right. Picked up Uni 2 2024 Frosty, and have absolutely just kind of gone feral on this game. I was a Strive player before, but now I grind this game because it's super cool, and there's a lot to talk about in it that I really appreciate. I love looking at cycle, etc. So, um, yeah, I was playing Kuon up till this patch. Now I'm playing Ogre. Don't get me started. I think Ogre slept on, but I think most people have heard it before at this point. Yeah, I'm happy to be here. This will be fun.
Yep. And without further ado, we're going to go straight into it. I'm going to hit the please use it button, which is basically going to tell people that they are good to go. Again, we have Tui versus Licensed Grappler, and we can go straight into it. Please use it. And we're going to go and get started. So I don't know for the Southeast if they have a lot of Waldstein experience. You can kind of stumble and trip here in the Midwest and run into a Yuzu around these days. So
That's very true.
I'm interested to see how things are going to go. I'm going to try not to be too biased for the Midwest portion, of course, but you know, we got.
I love watching Grappler. He's always making it happen on freaking Waldstein of all people.
Yes.
When Grappler plays Waldstein, I'm like, why don't more people play this character?
Yeah, I started to pick him up, but then I got lazy. Nevertheless, we have strong control from Tui. It's going to take me a little while to get that in there. Nice block on the overhead. Ooh, had a green shield leap.
Jump resets. It's so scary to match against Waldstein, but he'll just keep jumping in your face if you don't.
First major hit here for Tui. Nice meter build. So we are close to a bar already. Tried to get the low off of the air tech, but not quite fast enough.
Changing position, trying to back Waldstein up into the corner here.
Oh, had an opportunity anti-air, but we have a back throw now. Nice.
Somehow Waldstein ends up actually with his back into the corner, but that's going to connect.
The charge throw does side switch. Yep. Cycle 2 licensed grappler. Have an opportunity. Nice. Just going to go with the regular 360 into CS. So we are going to get a we're going to get a corner situation here off of this knockdown. Steer under. Perfect. Okay.
Another double jump assault in the corner.
Oh,
Probably looking to start seeing some 3Cs or anti-air, but tough stuff to do. I mean, Waldstein puts so much pressure on you when he's in your face. Grappler really knows his way around the offense.
we have some short slash confirms from Tui. Excuse me.
Playing full
Long
screen.
slash this time.
User trying to minimize risk in this matchup, I think, is an extremely good strategy. So, even though, I mean, we just got into a juicy confirm, I was going to say those neutral trades working out really well for Yuzu.
Another quick tech situation. Moves forward at the teleport to make sure that they kept the corner on the forward tech. Licensed Grappler not deciding to delay tech at all. Nice. Have a CS reversal. I'm going to imagine that he's going to want to CS. Yep. Get a little bit of meter back. Probably do a corner carry.
Yeah, the full corner carry.
So you can air tech that. Okay. Nice shield. And even better jump here from Licensed Grappler. He's already up around. Nice. EX Ender. Bop, bop, bop. He still has so many bounces left. I didn't even think about that. Into the reset.
Into the reset. Well, now he's got even more. Never mind, no, he doesn't.
Yeah, kind of pumping just in case. Nice. Decided to wait.
Technical throw is actually impossible.
Yeah, this is anyone's game. No whiff punish on that. It was still out there. I think it's like minus Zonerwald.
Gotta respect it.
I think 5.
Can get smoked by that.
Another opportunity. CS. Yep. All right. Tui gets the hit there. Should finish it.
All right.
5C confirmed. All right. Suna did bring up in the chat, Abari swipes is quite good. It is either an 11 or 9 frame option. And obviously if you have CS, you can whiff cancel that into the double circle. Tried to whiff out
so much space in 9 frames.
I think the Okazeme timing was trying to get Tui to VO on wake up, but stayed very disciplined. Wall does have CS, so there's a big threat. Oh my god, EX clap right on top of that. That is
really
a
nice pickup here.
big starter. Nice. Cycle. That's dangerous too. Yeah, double circle reversal. CS, this is probably going to be the game. Should have more than enough meter. Yeah.
When is the super anyway? That's the anime will it kill. Like, when is the super actually coming out? Oh man, good stuff. Those full cash outs, really important to hit. I mean, you don't need me to tell you, but the pressure when you're got an audience makes it a lot harder. That is why he has a license, Hatorn.
Absolutely. So game 1 going to Licensed Grappler. 2 straight kind of misaligned anti-air attempts from Hitui. That is the really strong thing about Waldstein. He's so hard to stop from jumping, and he has so many tools to keep you from jumping out. Another kind of whiff punish on the sliding 2A, but 4B is huge. Yep, slashes. Probably can build a little bit more meter off of this. CVO? No, just went for the reset.
I thought he had one more hit.
Mercenary Cat, hello, welcome.
How do you Cat?
Nice, okay. Anti-air. Would love to see maybe some 2FF from Hitui or 5C. Yuzu does have some opportunities to prepare anti-airs for Wald. It's not the easiest thing to do, especially since, you know, Wald has some longer ranged options. You have Swipe, you have Shockwave like this, Big Punch, nice. He has his very long limbs, and his hurt boxes have shrunk over time. Is a big flaw from Waldstein. Still kind of is, but yeah, could shield, but that was deep enough.
All right.
Now we have an
Expecting
opportunity.
a shield to kind of reading that Waldstein was looking for the mash out, runs in. Now we've got Waldstein at the back of the wall. Teleport comes out, not punished.
Ooh,
Oh, wow.
nice
Waits
whiff.
the throw, too.
Oh, but that was fast enough. Got through the slash attempt. I would maybe make a suggestion, and this is a general suggestion for anyone who is playing. If you're feeling a little overwhelmed, you got to milk the time between rounds. I think Uni gives you 15 seconds to queue up before you're kicked back to the room. Take massive advantage of that. You don't have to rush right into a game. You know, reset your mental. Nice, good jump back there. These green shields
That's what
are...
the esports orders for. Esports walker.
Absolutely.
Alright, big pickup for Waldstein. And all the way to the corner, too. Setting up jail, but
The wiggle 360, dash 360, Tui being a little too nice, great up forward, a little too defensive, waiting a little too long.
and manages to beat the chain shift. I don't know what option was coming out there.
Yep. So he
That's
uses
alright, we have a back
meter,
throw incident.
back throw incident, able to spin some meter to make sure that he keeps the corner. And then we have the frame trap 1A, which is +1 on block, or +2, I think. Oh no,
Yeah, the
double
EX cancel
circle.
makes that such a solid round start option.
Especially because Yuzu doesn't really have great reversals herself. Yeah, now License Grappler is cooking.
Empty.
360s.
Oh, yep, grappler jumped.
Yep, shimmy 360. And that is
Totally in
looking
the
like
driver's seat here.
another perfect round potentially. This should be... Oh, never mind.
Red combo.
Good tech.
Tech on the gold throw. Chance here. Uni can be an explosive game sometimes. Chain shift on the table now for Yuzu as well. With full
Yuzu...
meter could just be one more connect. Waldstein blocking for his life.
Oh,
That's
did...
one touch.
I think he tried to EX clap in between a slash again. Oh my god.
Yeah, didn't quite get everything we wanted out of that. Back to the similar position, but there it is. Race swipes.
Yep, got the swipes. You can't go into the air. Hitui, honestly, probably going to need to gain some more confidence pressing some buttons into wall jumps. A little bit more active to make sure that Wald can't set the pace like that.
Yeah, dude, the grappler aura coming off of this particular licensed one is kind of nuts on defense, though.
Absolutely.
Having had to hold it myself, I mean, it's just... I don't know how he does it. Good start here in the driver's seat from Hitui to start this off. Trying to play the range game. Yuzu, obviously, can really fish at full screen for hits like this. That's going to give her everything she could want. Well, okay, with throws plus, we all know it.
And, you know, not to be too meta or whatever, the corner is a very powerful position, especially for Yuzu in a matchup like Waldstein, where, you know, I think part of his power in neutral is that he can whiff punish her in ways that normal characters can't. He can kind of back off. Again, we had the round start 6-6B, which is 10 frames, beat the startup of EX slashes. You know, Wald has a lot of agency. Maybe that's an esports buzzword, but with the back to the corner, you know, nice, good teleport
Oh,
there.
clean teleport.
With the back to the corner, Wald has to make
It
an
runs up to get
offensive
some of the normal
option.
pressure.
Another swipe attempt through some slashes. Oh!
Oh, man.
Teleport got called out, and then that horizontal
Can you cancel the
slash.
force function to pick that up, or is it just kind of awkward like that?
Well, that's
mean,
not
tough
force
that out.
function. It's 2-2. Great
Oh,
jump
go
there.
figure.
I think you probably can cancel it, but the fact that she was still moving and it transferred behind him was probably visually disorienting. Straight with the overhead, that is 236B. We're gonna get a nice corner carry, basically at the corner. Double circle, so you have more
Oh, hit him with
advantage.
the pump fake.
I think he
Gets
probably
out
could
to
have
the other side of the
360
corner and
that.
gold throw, so it works out for positioning. Sometimes it's not about tagging your opponent with damage, sometimes it's about getting the side switch, using so many tools to do that.
Absolutely. Now we have a great start from Hitui. Went with the milk eater ender.
Still has the chain shift. Opting to just kind of Play slow for the cycle. Catch him with the teleport. Use your classic.
Oh, would have liked to see an EX flip there. No punish on that. It is a little bit difficult. So this is an important change for Wald. If you are in the recovery of a normal, you can technically like whiff pan. Oh my god, nice 5A. You can technically whiff punish with 360B in this version, and it locks you out in a red tech like that. So Yuzu has to pay a bit more attention with how she's teleporting too.
Coming down with the Pachinko approach actually manages to work out, get the cross up. What side was that indeed? Alright, we got 100 meter, we're gonna go just cash in the EX, concentrate, try to take the cycle back. This is now one touch, for sure, both characters. There it goes.
The Nirvana, never mind, we're just gonna dive into the pool. Licensed Grappler, really showing off his license to Hitui, up 4-0.
Hitui looked like they were getting some, making some progress that round, getting a sense of how to deal with some of these things. 7 games is a long set, we have time.
Absolutely. Oh, nice. So it doesn't feel like it sometimes because, you know, the demonic swordswoman here has such long slashes, but they do actually have hurt boxes, especially toward the start of them. And we got to see 22X interact with that. Nice.
Better your disjoints, better that tends to be. Well, there's some good options for that. Hitui's setting up pressure here.
Another trade, hurt box interaction.
Hurt boxes. Yeah. That's like halfway across the screen from him. That's crazy.
Nice. Did get the anti-air slash. Solidified it with 2FF. Side switch. Shield 360. Yeah. Oh, what a run up. But that's a dangerous run up. If you shield that, that is quite negative. Gonna make that plus.
User kind of backs up off after it. Waldstein gets in. As the approach started, you gotta be blocking.
Oh, that was definitely a 360, but we get the dash up 2FF.
Great punish with the ADP.
Cycle is going to go to Licensed Grappler. Wasn't really able to end that. Slashes.
Robbery swipes.
This is robbery situation. A. Oh, never mind. So this is like Sam Show neutral. The next hit will kill someone.
Close to cycle. Waldstein officers go in over it.
Technically the second hit there. Licensed Grappler. Really positioned well. Would have liked to see a whiff punish on that. Tui, I think, quite scared of Waldstein normals. For good reason. They're annoying to deal with. But we got our first meter situation.
I think you really got to play the matchup a lot to be comfortable challenging.
And honestly, Licensed Grappler seems very, very comfortable air teching some of these enders.
we do have a few users in this region.
Oh no. EX reversal, gonna have corner. Probably something to bait the CS here. Yep. Nice!
Just wait. The jump out, very good.
Another cycle for Licensed Grappler.
Gain shift.
That's a 3-frame option, that 360A. Oh, tried to go with the wiggle forward 360. Slight buffer into that. Oh, caught the jump. And CS. That is a strong starter. I don't know if he can kill, but it's going to hurt. Okay. Oh! What a read! Man. Never mind. Okay. Oh.
Yeah, so scared to just... You don't want to stay planted, but you don't want to... So, option for the backdash gets caught by the swipe.
Yep.
Waldstein with a lot of really good options in that scenario that are just not that easy for the opponent to punish.
Yeah.
Round start, jump forward JC.
Finally catches him.
Nice. That'll stabilize.
It does look like Hitui is getting some better starts on his combos at the starts of round, but nice, good dodge.
Oh man.
But honestly, he just kind of gets pinned down, and the damage differential ends up going in Vault's favor. But plus,
green shield comes out, jump, and all right. So we pick up with the elbow. Chain shift to spend here too. Gonna be wanting to pick up the meter as well.
Yeah, but he wanted the double circle.
Gonna probably chain shift the mix-up.
Didn't even need it. He was going to get the guaranteed low. Yeah. So, in case you didn't know at home, double circle versus regular 360 gains you more advantage on hit and leaves you closer to the opponent. And so you actually get much better Oki for the grappler player if you end a combo or start a combo, or rather just 360 rather, or grabbed them, not 360, with 720, which is double circle. So we're going to get throw combo into Iwex. I don't know if this is going to kill. Wald has a lot of health. Yep, just narrowly.
Man. Yeah, it doesn't.
Highest health in the game. Oh!
Yeah, highest chain shift to work with. Oh no. Yeah, Waldstein managed to spend that chain shift in that situation. That's so good for those end of round scrambles if you get that out of your opponent.
Yeah, it's also a really scary, you know, offensive situation because the CS on wake up you have to respect, and then 3C catches jumps into a potential, you know, 360 or 720. It's one of the cheaper things that Wald has on CS with meter, of course.
Tui looking like they want to try to get back on the board here. 50% down from Waldstein. No damage on Yuzu. Getting the root, opting to stick with the mid screen mix up instead of going to the corner.
Yeah, I think Katui thought that he had more bounces available than he did. However, this looks like it should stabilize. Missed the flip ender, or the flip link rather.
Oh, close. Still playing it safe. Sometimes it's about, you know, you want that combo insurance where if you're going to drop, you at least get into a position where you're resetting the neutral or something.
Ooh, nice delay on the combo there. Baits the CS out. Yuzu, don't teleport too crazily. Nice. You can just
I'll
get
give you that one.
grabbed.
I guess if it worked, it was a good teleport, right?
Yep, absolutely. Okay.
Alright, 1 point each, Yuzu with the momentum. A little extra meter to work with.
Oh, but we have the whiff
That's gonna make
punish.
the cycle. Oh, never mind, it's a whole combo.
Got the whiff punish with shockwave. Deep shield, I think that still might have been plus enough to get a 360 versus the mash. Okay. Nice.
Oh, just barely connects. Opts to just take the pressure.
Okay, did
Oh,
get the up back
both
slash
players.
this time.
That was actually really cool cycle play, holy moly. Both players with one eye on it, just do like the short concentrate.
Got the flip whiff into the low 6C. And this is looking pretty close. One more mix up, one more hit.
Yeah, I think I agree with saving change to try to apply mix up here.
Shield.
The extra work with 2 to make things safe. Waldstein going all the way in, no punish from the jump in. Oh,
Uh-oh, dash
Such a
360.
scary
But you
option.
still do have CS to protect yourself. A lot of resources. However, you don't want to jump airlessly. Oh, that
still wants
CS.
to be alive, I think.
Oh!
Picks it up. Oh, just barely drops it. 2K doesn't connect either.
Oh, no. CS
Defense
reversal!
is just crazy, man.
Okay, 720. Sliding command grab. Another one
Holy.
gripped firmly, wrenched from the grasp of Hitui into the hands of Licensed Grappler.
That was Hitui was really working hard there. That was some good offense.
Yeah,
Damn.
he got robbed, and Wald definitely can rob you. Very good at robbing you. Okay, nice counter hit here. Again, you know, 360, nice, good catch. 360B is 6 frames. So if you have 6 frames of recovery off of anything, technically you can whiff punish you if he's close enough.
Oh yeah. And the Wald player's always going to know that frame data. They're always going to know it better than you too, which I tend to forget.
Now I think this might kill spinning everything. Nice.
Man, I'm 0 for 2. I thought that was gonna nice perfect though.
Alright.
I was like, Wald's fine. Alright.
Okay, 720.
I didn't see the flash. I don't think that was a TRM.
No, just didn't tech. So Mika and Wald and Shirugi's command throws actually have slightly less slightly less of a tech window compared to normal gold throws. Okay, good block there.
Oh, that makes me feel so much better.
It's about half, I think, or maybe for one character it's like 3/4 or something.
You know if that's true for ogres too? Sorry, this.
I think ogres might
Nice
also
work,
apply for
Hitui.
that as well. Hui looking good. Unfortunate drop though, so we can get another robbery situation as Licensed Grappler is up 6-0. Okay.
Oh man, managed to get back in at game point. This is such a tense situation.
Oh no. It's looking like it definitely can happen. This is one slide throw away. Reset.
Oh no, goes for the reset.
Yeah, slide throw or reset with CS.
All right, shake it off, shake it off. You got another round.
No, double circle.
No.
So that's a 720 additional damage. So 2510, and you get a guaranteed safe jump with. Oh no. Second
Full
bounce.
jump. I see.
Nice. All right.
Oh, and then gripped.
I don't think this will kill, but the next situation is probably looking nice for Licensed Grappler here. Another 720 ender. Put you close to the opponent. Tried to bait a VO. Walk back. Yeah, there's nothing coming out from Licensed Grappler. You take that throw.
I'm gonna forget position here. I guess just cashing in the high minimum damage.
Yep. I think it will also put them closer to mid-screen position relative. There we
Better
go.
Oki's MA2.
I think
Run up
RW
2A.
probably has slightly more, slightly better OPMA, but the damage definitely goes. Oh my god, that was scary.
Oh man, huge props to the 2 if we can pull it out from here.
Oh, but yeah, got caught out of the teleport. You know, the huge active frames of 2-2X. EX canceled behind it to super flash someone, and you know that's unfortunately a quick 7 for Licensed Grappler. Great set though.
Yeah, that's a scary wall, man. I don't. I think you can really see how Grappler has a lot of these offensive sequences just completely locked in. I want to highlight he did like a full jump increase JC, and we'll just I'll do him a solid. I'll say that was on purpose because I've never missed input in my life. So that covers so much space above the Yuzu with a huge hitbox. Yuzu really has to just keep blocking. That's kind of the only option that she has in that situation. So Waldstein is just looping these options over and over in your face, where the safest thing for you to do is just down back. I mean, and the risks feel so skewed if you try to mash out of it. So just really scary stuff. Waldstein, not a character to sleep on, I think. He will absolutely mess you up if you're not prepared.
Yeah, and to add to that too, a little bit of minutia in there, or minutia. There is, you know, the post 360 or post 720 mix up. I would say 360 basically gives you like a safe jump, you know, or really like a meaty jump in. Usually Walds, I think, will use like JB with that. That's the downward diagonal jump normal. And so you are forced to block that. If you shield it though, it's usually pretty advantaged for you. However, with 720, because it leaves you closer, you can like either charge JC to force it to hit meaty, or I think Licensed Grappler a lot of the time there ended up whiffing it. So if you shield, or if you try to jump, you know, the command grab, we saw a lot of 1A, which is a low, so it'll catch your jump into a combo. Hitui was kind of stuck at the headlights, so he didn't really get like whiff jump into 360 too much on Oki, but that's like another layer that the grappler player can put in, which is really scary. So hopefully Hitui learned something from this. I definitely think playing a little bit more aggressive, fighting for space kind of in the mid-range, will help him in the future. So up next though, we are going to have Lucy versus Winter. I'm not going to have them go yet, just because I actually have to take a quick bathroom break. I'll set up the scoreboard, but if you want to preview a little bit here, I don't know how much you know about the Phonon versus Fatista matchup, but I'll leave it to you to cover for the next minute or so.
Gotcha. I don't know a whole lot, I'll admit. I've been seeing more Batista on the ladder lately, and I really appreciate this character. Even though, I mean, obviously she can be really irritating to fight. The flash kick, super annoying for the kinds of characters I've been playing. And then Phonon, I think, you know, a lot of Phonon players I think are a little down on the character this patch. I don't know if she's, well, I don't think anyone in this character in this game is not viable. The stagger pressure, it depends on how hitboxes are going to interact if Yuzu goes for flash kicks. Because Phonon loves to use staggers with the really late cancel windows on her normals. So you know, it's just really tough to see when she's going to try to buy back in, that kind of thing. But stagger pressure, flash kicks just tend to eat that alive. Now, I don't know what the state of Phonon's hurt boxes are in 2025. I know that's the kind of thing that it's one of those intangibles about a character where, you know, if the frame data and like hurt boxes have just been gradually getting worse, it's the kind of thing that'll just gradually make a character feel really weak over time. But if you have Phonon resetting in your face, it just kind of comes down to wherever those hurt boxes are placed for the flash kicks. Yuzu's, I would say, Batista's offense it feels a lot less scary than it did the little bit of Batista I played against on Uniclear. I can't say for sure. I can't say for sure if that's changed or what it's like compared to early versions, but in this version of the game, Batista feels like pretty interesting to deal with, I'd say, on defense. She's got a lot of really cool options. Like, if you're trying to interrupt what she's doing in neutral, she's got ways to just keep a ton of space.
Yeah, I would say that this version of Batista is slanted a lot more offensively than maybe she was in the past. Force function, they have really helped with. I think like A-Drill basically combo standing now. You have like counter hit B-ball that goes into a full combo. So we're going to see a lot of different ranges that are played with here. Lucy does close in, go straight into a 5cc start punish. Oh, missed the delay fireball.
Ooh. That's good. I actually love that first flash kick, even though Phonon knew what to do with it. In a set like this, oh yeah. Okay. So this might look a little silly, but if you're playing a flash kick character, you gotta figure out quickly how your opponent's gonna deal with your flash kick.
Yeah. So Lucy has a third opportunity here to attempt this combo. Actually gets the falling portion, although unfortunately she did drop the ender and the linker. So now Winter has another opportunity here. We have a gym set, potential 50-50 here. Yeah.
50-50-50.
A lot of layers. Okay, gem pop.
Gem detonations, going for a really tight pressure here.
But gets poked out.
Funny.
Yeah. Alright.
Round start beam, stay over there. Stay over there. So I can start my offense anyway. Really heads up throw.
So Batista both has quite strong zoning. Her counter zoning also got improved as well because the parry is faster and it catches everything except low hitting attacks. We do have a jump in air to air that Batista wins with JC. Okay, walk back tip throw.
Set kind of whips there. Gets the better of the throw exchange. Change up here to get the AD, also gets some meter off of it.
Whiff throw. So flash kick into C dive. This used to do 4K. It does slightly less than that now. There we go. So we have a gym pop.
I love that Spender animation. I won't lie.
Yeah, it's quite nice. Bouncy ball. Tried to throw before it, but Lucy actually dashed forward to challenge
the creeping edge too.
Oh
no.
Tried to safe jump, but it's like, okay, I'll throw your safe jump. That's fine. Okay. Green shield whiff. So Lucy ahead on the cycle here. Unfortunately gets flash kicked. So we've seen Winter already pretty comfortable trying to flash kick out of phone pressure. I would say like Batista's mid-range buttons are, oh my god, a little bit on the slower end. So fighting out with flash kick on extended hurt box is probably ideal. Tried to wait a flash kick, but instead, there it is. So there's the parry right there. Although we still overpowered the cancel off of the parry. Disco time. Got caught.
Flash kicks in general, having gone from a character with a flash kick to a character with traditional reversal, the reliability of a flash kick in this game is actually kind of insane compared to a lot of other options to do out of chain shift in these like scramble situations.
And Lucy yanks Winter out of the air. Both of these characters are, I think, used to having air supremacy. Falnon, I think, has a little more agency than usual compared to what Batista might like. There's the Dog Petter 9000, as I like to call it.
Barely gets a piece of the end of that hitbox.
And
full screen Aubrey. If that's not the most under night thing you've ever seen.
Right. one of the things that I think did improve for many players playing against Vatista is the increased hurt boxes on Vatista's normals. And the fact that she can be counter hit is a huge thing that was not a thing until Uni 2.
Absolutely wild trait to put on a character. I sorry, Batista players, but that should never have been. They should never have given you that.
Yeah. Okay, overpowering the fireball cancel again. Tried to overshield, got thrown. So this is quite dangerous. Yeah, trying to hold up. This is Phonon's power position. You have to hold all of this stuff. You can't shield out.
Phonon not a character people think of as having great close range buttons, but her 5B doing a lot of work already in this matchup. Super active.
Okay. Yeah, CS to make it slightly more safe. But again, Phonon
the orb. That was pretty nice.
Has a lot of really good ways to blow up counter fireball pressure. Really long lows to catch things as well. Does have to make that safe. Nice trade combo. Okay. Stinder. But I don't know if you really want to
one
put...
chance both characters. Ooh.
Yeah. But I think
Trying
Lucy
to guess whether
has...
Phonon approach is going to be air or ground.
Yeah. Phonon has many different ways with CS and meter to keep herself safe and do safe overheads to remove charge, for example. We saw the... Oh, go ahead.
Significant beneficiary of chain shift refunding all air options.
Yes, absolutely. Even outside of that, it does make her force function faster, for example. Nice.
Nice anti-air.
Oh, the 3 DP. Yeah, nice loop. Tried to hold up forward to maybe air to air, but, you know, Vatista Jump C is one of the best jump normals in the game. Very hard to contest. Okay, pop that.
Lisa covering herself in a projectile to get a little extra space. The absolute size of that reversal.
Absolutely. I think the regular A flash kick probably wasn't going to catch the lean back of Phonon's 4B. So it was really smart of Winter to go... Oh my goodness. Oh!
Yeah, one of those things. Ooh.
If he didn't use Stinder, he probably could have killed there. But because he used Stinder, it forced the tech, even though there were some potential options for juggling later.
Oh.
So that was a slight combo miss from Winter. Okay, nice air to air.
Great set here. Gets enough positive frames to... Oh, man.
Yeah. Nice
That was
shoot.
fancy. I was going to say, using the projectiles really well to get the plus frames to set up some of this greedier offense.
Yeah, and I really love that rather than committing to an anti-air earlier, Lucy repositioned herself. That's extremely important, I think, against many jump-ins in this game. We do have a Celestial refund. This should kill, honestly. Keep it nice and simple. Yep.
Yep. The tap 2 buttons.
Winter
Big
with
laser.
the A flash kick into 5k, and we are tied at 1-1. Very true, Ash. Standing versus 6xc in 2025. I can say that because I also stand into it. Haha. Nice. Again, up back. A little dangerous for Vatista in this matchup because of the whip. Phonon getting some extra damage. She's one of the characters that I think her damage has gone up quite a bit with the new routes. If you follow Glacy on Twitter, she's constantly posting new tech. It all hurts too. So she's got some sauce.
Phonon, I think, felt like a character known for really good conversion ability, but maybe a little bit less damage. But I think, you know, the damage in Under Night having gone up over the years, Phonon's had to get a little extra juice to keep up.
And Ashral, who I know they used to play Vatista. I don't know if they're actively playing Vatista anymore. Very apt observation. You do have to play pretty grounded versus Phonon. Phonon has so many ways of overpowering projectiles, catching you out of the air, and even if you're on the ground, she has ways of removing the charge like we talked about. There's the 6 force function like this that can go into an overhead, which forces you to stand block.
Nice use of the shields there.
Oh, hell yeah.
So, Vatista, if she blocks... When she blocks those air normals with the shield, lets her get a quicker projectile out afterwards.
And we saw Air 2-2 there from Lucy dodging a potential landing trap from Winter. Didn't get the conversion off of that, but allowed herself to reposition and then pick apart with the force function into the C overhead. And that puts Lucy up to...
using the 15 seconds.
that
Also, like we were talking about in the last set.
Yep, absolutely. Winter taking some extra time at the results screen, maybe trying to figure out some different angles to attack. Sorry, Yona, this is Lucy. Uh, okay. So a nice shield on the ball. Yeah, 3-ball. Again, not a lot of characters really can do too much about 3-ball
Well, yeah,
or
situation.
4-ball. However, you know, Fonon has the Dog Feather 9000, and what that means is that she can hit her there. You know, these long normals, catching Vatista out of her attacks here. Winter.
Batista's doing a really good job mixing up her descent options. But like you saw a couple of those anti-air attempts whiffing, but you know, Fonon just one step ahead on a lot of these.
Yep.
Batista sets up orb, bailoff comes out.
Yep, that was a charge removal for now. Although charge is now back, we do have CS. Tried to EX something. I don't think that EX DP was going to reach their trade combo in Batista's favor. Okay. Didn't quite fall on the ball there. Yep, we have some air normal actions. So again, Fonon JC is powerful, but so is Batista's JC. It's very active. And it combos basically on any hit. The block on the overhead. Yeah, that's a frame trap. Up forward into the B dive. Blowing up the stand tech. Winter 2-2.
So if you're watching at home and you don't watch a ton of Uni, I think it's worth pointing out that Batista Drill is a charge up down. It's just makes the character really fascinating to construct block strings with. So one of those things that people kind of go, haha, anime, but it really does contribute to making the character's pressure really interesting to understand and to implement. See how interesting it is?
Yeah, very interesting. That jump in's very plus. Also, Ash with a very, again, astute observation. In this version of the game, we do have Creeping Edge, which is the roll. There is a gap all the time when, well, no, there's some gapless setups for Batista B-Drill, but for the most part, there's a gap, and so you can roll in between it. This should kill. Nice, 3,500. But you do have the ability to roll out of that mix-up. Oh, dashed up. Oh,
wow.
So I think maybe that is like 20 or 18 total frames. The 2-2C from Fall
really
On.
Quick.
Yeah, it recovers
Lets you just
very,
kind of
very
burn
fast.
off, like cancel, you make it yourself. Much more plus. Very similar to a lot of V-Trigger installs in Street Fighter.
Absolutely. We had a little bit of a CS mind game there from Winter. Again, typical offensive point is Batista doing, you know, some sort of force function into CS, but he held CS and then instead just did a jump C over the low fuzzy mash. Another, okay, there's a dash. Okay, good
That
shielding.
gem gives Batista a lot of time to do what they want for offense. Talk about varying the descents.
And
Nice use of
then-
that.
Oh, go ahead. Nice
Use of the gem.
Yeah, nice use of the gem and also the air options to kind of dodge out a 5A anti-air from Lucy.
Yeah, it's important to still not mash through that rematch screen, even if you are taking a set or two.
Okay. So we did see a big swing. I think at this point there's a 2-win streak from Winter. Looks like Lucy catching Winter out of air actions a lot of the time, just like that. While a stronger factor in the first couple games, a little bit less of a factor in these last few. Okay.
Phonon. Oh my god. I was gonna say Phonon with lends herself to really consistent conversions off a lot of these odd air touches.
Okay.
We have that's a large flash kick.
Yep. And we have a brute force 660 after that flash kick. Nice. Install to make safe. Honestly, oh yeah. So that is an overhead in this version of the game. I was really curious about Lucy deciding not to power a fireball through some of these lasers. The install does improve, you know, damage, hit, and some of the properties of Fireball. So you can beat characters in Fireball Wars, although Laser is quite fast, as we see here. Lucy getting clipped out of a lot of stuff.
We'll take the red beat, though, to get your own offense set up. Adriel whiffs, but that one's recovers pretty quick.
Up forward Adriel, what a demon. Oh yeah, that is attempting a DP, nice.
Lucky to be alive, but gonna take the most of it.
Oh, Lucy, no tech.
Oh, man.
You should be able to punish that. No!
So scared, but you see Batista do something when you're just so scared, man.
Yeah.
What's she doing with that orb?
But you have plenty of time to hit her before the orb comes out. Lucy just reacted late. I thought maybe with the CS that they were just going to EX uppercut there, but I think they got in their own head and tried to get a stronger punish than they were ready for.
Yeah, if you haven't seen that before, you might be surprised if to know the orb doesn't have a hitbox too.
Yeah, not at first. Not until it kind of shoots out of her. It looks like it does, but you can hit her. Nice 2B underneath. 2D Stinder, or excuse me, 2B Stinder.
Ooh, whose side is it anyway?
Nice! Got the falling A. We definitely need Lucy to confirm some of these buttons.
I think that was the mid dash beat, wasn't it?
I think so. Okay.
So just a little faster. It is a quick button if you don't increase it.
Yeah, that B-ball. Nice. Okay. Wasn't able to pop the gem in time thanks to the whip hit from Phonon. This is looking, again, like a powerful position. EX Ascend.
Phonon really has to represent sort of all of her ranges in neutral to get your opponent to disrespect something.
Debate. Again, would have loved to see some other option. Yeah, you can power through that. Yeah, DP.
Yep, chain shift, giving you a completely consistent defense in that situation.
Yeah, that was a functionally guaranteed meaty. Probably could have rolled it. Nice. That is an overhead.
Man.
Delay falling overhead.
So I guess, was that an IC I saw in the EX one?
No, she can't.
Okay.
Yeah, she can't increase that.
Wasn't sure. It came out super late. It looked like there was an attempt to fuzzy for the Batista. She stood up for a second.
Yeah, just did a delay. Yeah, she just delayed her 2-2C near the end of her descent. Okay, nice knockdown. Yeah, that's a safe jump. But still got clipped. Okay, VO.
Bail off getting the right side there. The side that Phonon wants, rather.
Flash kick in between the pressure. Nice jump forward.
I wonder what Phonon actually can even do to bait some of these flash kicks once they've committed to certain buttons in a string.
Honestly, you know, you can do shorter. Nice! Great combo. You can do shorter strings. You can do tighter strings. I think Lucy was just a little too fast and loose with her pressure, allowing Winter to, you know, flash kick out of that.
I think that's, yeah, it's a major strength of Phonon's in a lot of matchups, is the ability to
Control
do
that
unpredictable cancels, but, you know, when the other character can sort of, just has a really consistent option for getting through that.
Nice combo. Going to CVO. And you still get a gem set after this. This shouldn't kill. Oh, nice. Does get to tech forward.
Ooh, the angles, man.
Okay, baits the flash kick. I would love to see a safe combo here, Lucy. Okay, that did combo this time. Big damage.
We'll cash out.
Alright, you still have to bait another flash kick.
Setup.
There's the throw. Nice.
Faking another setup uses the JB to still get kind of an unpredictable animation.
Yeah, charges back there.
Characters here. Really tight string, like you were saying, watching out for that flash kick. Chain shift is scouted out. Now that that's down, Phonon has a lot more options.
Oh
my god, dude.
Again, that is very plus. However, you know, flash kick is invul, and she stuck her hurt box out there. Game 7 goes to Winter.
Chain shift sort of gives you an extra time that they have to bait the flash kick, which is just really hard to run pressure into. Oh my god.
Oh no, ran into the second hit.
Been there.
Yep. And because that counter hit, she actually got a little bit of extra damage off of that. It isn't a great starter, but oh no.
Pushing them into the gem, gets the hitbox. Interesting pressure again. Over the top? Which side? Whose side is it anyway?
She doesn't know. I think you can just JA that air to air, but it is difficult.
A lot of damage on this cash out here. Gets the orb set too by detonating the orb.
Yeah, Winter looking extremely comfortable at this point.
Yeah.
No, Yona, this is 7. Kind of because nice. Did she get a pick? Oh yeah. No, doesn't actually get a combo off of that. This is 7 due to some circumstances. Luful, who was supposed to play first, was running late to a local in Philly. And so I was like, we'll just do a longer set because there's only 3 matches today anyway. And getting caught, failing the dash block tutorial. Nice trade. But eating a lot of damage
early enough to still get her out of that situation.
Up back JB. Yeah, that's a nothing CS, unfortunately. But
nice shield play. Sort of the late jump in. Looking for a DP, opting for the ADP, which is gonna let her block still afterward. Phonon trying to take a turn here. Fairly even situation, not anymore. Phonon catches in. This will be a full cash out. Probably gonna spend a resource to get Okizeme.
Alright, have to worry about a flash kick. EX spent. There
Was
we
worried
go.
about the flash kick. Excellent.
Finally baits it. I'm kind of surprised that Winter went for that, considering how little it seems like Lucy knows how to punish a flash kick into EX. But now Winter at the top of the screen, big chilling. Nice shield. So Celestial for Phonon.
A lot of damage if you can find a window to chain shift. You don't always just want to pop it, but...
Yeah, but she is getting zoned right now.
Still has access to Celestial. Okay, so...
Yeah, should get another Celestial this time.
Yeah, bit of a moonshot, but this is going to pay off big time.
No!
Oh, throw whiffs.
Inconsistency on the throw. Then got counter hit. Nice. Okay, so this is still very winnable for Lucy.
Late enough to be really tricky on that overhead there, but yeah.
When
When Batista's just sort of sitting across from you like that, actually ends up being a really scary time to press a button.
Yeah.
She is so effective at that range, but only like right on the ground.
I would have liked to see Lucy maybe wait a little bit more at character select. She's very quickly gone into the next game. Yeah, it's slipping away from her just a little bit here. Nice air-to-air. No pickup, though.
Doesn't get to confirm, but we do get the throw off of the reset. Decent situation. Ooh, not so good a situation anymore.
Nice, there's
there
the 5A.
Pressing the... Yes, alright. So, pressing the JB to stop the twirling pressure. Baits the flash kick. Alright, so you can't get lazy, though. You have to be... The flash kick game goes the entire game during a set. If you ever assume your opponent is just going to start biting on them, this can happen to you. This can happen to you.
Wake up, V-Drill. It's like, hey, you've respected flash kick, now I'm just going to hold up. However, Lucy on the board, not a whole lot of meter for Winter either. So that round start that Winter's been kind of punishing Lucy at, not as strong. We have a really strong start.
Yeah, carrying the momentum forward.
Yeah, unfortunately...
Phone on jail now.
Yeah, unfortunately
Excellent.
Lucy dropping a lot of combos here. Nice 4B with the catch. Honestly, this is looking very close to a strong Lucy game here.
Spender, yep, just gonna spend it all here.
Alright, guess for your
So
life. You do have a JACS, and you have a way to safe meaty. Lucy on the board, fighting back, stops the bleeding. 3-6.
Alright, now it's just easy 4 games in a row.
Yeah, just steal 4, and you got it.
You can make it happen if, so for example, if Winter is not still thinking about the flash kick at this point, this could, this could go the other way.
Yeah, I think it did meaty the A flash Suna. Nice! Got the jump, but the angle of the falling
Fake
fireball wasn't enough to hit.
Excellent, yeah. Still can't spend a long time in the air against Phonon.
Okay.
Oh man, see now who's playing the flash kick game? You're playing it the whole set. And if you're ever not sharp on when those flash kicks are coming on, you're taking 4K every time you miss one.
Yep. So Lucy probably gonna spin a bar off of this. Yep. Near perfect round. Gets the grid break, which increases the damage, basically allowing her to save 100 meter. She didn't have to spin all of her IW there. But another strong start here from Winter. Steer Ender. Not a whole lot of damage.
Turning advantage back and forth here. So now we're on this defense position.
Got caught with the
I
low.
like Winter still representing that kind of offense. Just like if your opponent manages to get out of it once, doesn't necessarily mean they've actually figured out how to deal with it, you know?
Yep. Forward gets VO'd.
Amidst the veil off.
Oh,
right,
disengaged. So... Dodges the flash, but honestly, this is just a handshake trade. Has to worry about a CS reversal on wake up. Not going to be able to stretch it. Safe jump.
Safe jump. A lot of shields being committed here. Might see a throw. Well, playing it safe so far.
Yeah, Phonon I think has some difficulty hitting. Nice. Grabbing green shields from her B and C normals, but what she does allow herself to do is force green shield whiff. That takes 10 meter, and then if you don't hit into a green shield, they lose a block just like that. So this is a way that zoners end up kind of controlling the Vorpal cycle rather than immediately doing like a fast normal into a throw. So again, you know, that shielded laser got green shielded, and that ended up letting Winter win the cycle. So he has the ability to steer his air actions, tick throw, green shield. However, you know, he attacked the shield a little too much, broke the green shield, and now we're on set point for Winter. Okay, green shield whiff, unfortunately.
Safe starts from both players here, not wanting to commit too much to start with. A lot of air coverage and do a good confirm.
Yeah, Vatista definitely, I think, has the advantage in mid-range jump-ins. Phonon has more of a...
Can we pick up shields the A drill?
A B drill, double B drill there.
Double B drill, yeah. Second B drill whiffing on the start out.
Winter looking really good in prime position outside of cycle.
One chance for the set here. Opts for anti or JB, picks up. Been a consistent option so far through some of these last couple games.
Spending everything, wants to catch up and lead, but I think the damage differential maybe not useful.
Oh man.
Winter's
trying to bounce over the
bar.
fireball follow-up like the last interaction.
I think he can kill if he wants, not off of this.
What a pixel.
With the rising JA.
Yeah.
Winter taking the set 7-3. Good set to both players. Winter making the adjustments down the stretch. Lucy did try to fight back, but unfortunately not able to make the comeback. Congrats. Great set.
Yeah, and in these longer sets, a score like 7-3 is really, like, still can kind of end up being anyone's set. These longer sets really test some different skills too than the shorter a tournament set might. They tend to reward players that are really focused on trying to come up with new ways to adapt to the opponent. Yeah. I do think Lucy really was definitely thinking the orb had a hitbox the whole time, and that is a bummer because you don't want to be learning that in the middle of a set.
I agree. Hold on 1 second. Let me pop out that. Go back over here.
All right, where are we at on time?
We're pretty good on time. We have the time out here there, but we're pretty good on time. We're basically at the top of the hour where we have our last set here. Lucy, let's take that offline. We'll talk a little bit about the set afterwards, but we want to maintain sportsmanship for sure while we are in the community space, but let's definitely talk about that later. Up next here, yeah, no problem. Thanks for playing. Up next here, we do have our Swan Song set. This is going to be Miller 2B versus Luful. Do you need to take a quick break real quick?
I do, yeah. If I could get 5 minutes, refill my water.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let everyone sort of settle in before this.
Yep. So we'll set this stuff up. I'll kind of yap through a couple things here, but just let me know when you're back, and we'll get ready after that. Yeah. If any, well, yeah, I'll give you guys the go ahead when we're ready to go. But yeah. So I think this set here, if I can kind of talk about this set, there's a lot of back and forth, I think, in between options that players have to respect. Vatista, considering kind of how slow Phonon's normals are, has a bit more agency. She can set up some more plus frames. There's like a dichotomy between, you know, Phonon being able to punish the startup of like ball, or, you know, punish laser if she's close enough, but she doesn't want to be too close to, like, you know, eat flash kicks and eat mash outs. She does kind of dominate Vatista's zoning patterns, but if Vatista has balls out on the screen, or she can snipe the startup of certain things, that makes it more difficult for Phonon. Like, it's a very fluid kind of matchup. There are a lot of things to pay attention to. You have 2 minutes to smoke, Luful. Get there and come back. You're the reason why we had to switch to 7, so be cognizant of that. In the meantime, we do have 2 really seasoned players here. Both Luful and Miller have been around the block quite a bit. Yeah, you're bad. Just take that quick smoke break. A lot of interactions, like Ash was saying there. But between these 2 players, I don't know if they've played in tournament too much. However, they should be very familiar with each other's characters. Miller's student protege, so to speak, is Glacy, and basically every week or every 2 weeks in Toledo, unfortunately I'm stealing Miller from the Toledo locals this time, you'll see them facing off in Michigan, in Ohio, all over the place. Luful came up in the land of New York. You know, there's plenty of Lines that have come and gone. You know, NYC, Z Brandon, Kai, aka Kai. You know, you had EJ, who is deep in the scene. I don't think EJ plays Uni 2 too much anymore, but was definitely very active in the ST times. Oh, did play at ECT. Nice, nice. There is PS1 Demo Disc, aka Long Island Nick. I'm pretty sure that Luful has played him quite a bit. So both players should be relatively familiar with each other's characters. This is also a really common matchup from the ST time. There were Phonons all over the place. Strong character. Line has historically been a strong character, I think, for multiple versions now. Very popular character. So
yeah,
I think
I am back.
Welcome back. I think we're going to potentially see a nice clash of styles. Miller is, I think, considered one of the more defensive Lines. He picks his spots a lot. Luful is a type of player who, if you give him an inch, he's going to take a mile. There's some fun dichotomy because, you know, Phonon has a lot of air actions. Line has one of the best kind of anti-air answers in the game. Can also dodge through fireballs. So I'm very, very interested to see how this set is going to play out. Absolutely.
Yeah, I think.
Oh, go ahead, please.
I was just gonna say, I think you're totally right about Lene being just sort of consistently solid. Certainly, since this version of the game, every patch is only like they make her a little faster every patch. So I think she's been certainly solid for all of Uni 2's lifespan, and just has like really solid, well-rounded kit too. Yep. So the kind of design that's always going to be fairly consistent. But yeah, so I don't know how. I have not seen Miller run a lot of pressure on Lene. I think there's a couple of different ways you'll see Lene's run pressure, depending on how comfortable they are spamming the TK fireball.
So we are ready to go. I think Luful is finishing his smoke break. But yeah, there are a lot of different styles that both players and both characters, I think, can run. Miller, I would say, plays a little bit more of an outside-in game.
Sure.
He's a little bit more mid-range to closing in rather than aggressive in your face. But, you know, Line is a fast character. You know, she has also many ways to kind of delay her jump arc and her falling arc with, you know, Kuga. Obviously, I think you can do like charge B Kuga into assault now. You have Helmbreaker. There are a lot of different ways that you can kind of close your space.
Yeah, tricky ways to move to once you are in. You know, depending on what approach options you've committed to, because they are kind of committal, and they tend to have responses.
Absolutely.
But now that, you know, Lene's force function is an entire decision tree, basically. A lot of different ways to sort of mix up her approach. And her buttons, too, are notorious for good reason. Like, she just has 2B and 2C are low swipes with absolutely insane range for their speed.
Yeah. I actually
will absolutely catch you not watching your toes.
Yeah, I like to call Dash 2C Line's like other fireball.
Yeah.
Just about how fast like she's able to do it, you know, how long it is, how disjointed. It's a pesky tool to deal with. I think everybody in the chat that's played against Line is like, okay, you know, you really have to worry about this Dash 2C. But we're gonna go straight into it. Again, George W. Cush, aka Luful, locked up for life, representing the East Coast against Miller, one of our top players in the Midwest. Let's see how this will go. So let's see what the opening gambit is. Just wait. Okay, dash throw.
All right.
Forward. Great shield. Delay tech. So they're
testing throw defense right off the bat here. JB picks up.
Yep. So we
Excellent
do have
option
the
for stopping some of these air shenanigans.
Absolutely. Phonon kind of considered to have weaker jump-ins, or excuse me, weaker anti-airs on average. However, she has a very tall 5A in this version of the game. Also, counter hit A normals kind of drop you slowly like Melty Blood. So you do have the ability to tech or to combo off of them as you recognize it. Miller gets a counter hit A, bleeds out the rest of the Vorpal timer, now gets to run a lot of pressure. Trade on that.
Cycle's gone over to Phonon.
Yep.
Nice shield use.
Walk under.
Trajectory.
Oh!
One more little twist.
Yeah, the last
zig
one.
At the end of that zag.
Counter hit part of the normal. Oh, nice! Okay, so tried to ADP in place thinking that Line was going to come closer on Akuga, but instead got whiff punished.
Dash B out. Yeah. Phonon gonna triple overhead you from across the screen.
Yeah, she also builds a lot of meters, so we're gonna probably see a bar on this. Neutral in place falling.
Sort of
Corner
a fake
steal.
projectile into a real projectile setup there. Oh wow, jumping right over the whip there. That's a cuts commercial moment.
Absolutely. Big start on this.
Still has the insult, contribute a little bit more to the pressure.
Delayed falling air fireball. Again, terrifying considering how much that Luful tends to like to delay his air normals, and how Phonon can do, you know, air normals very late into her falling animation. Air normals and specials, excuse me. Alright, nice. Good block.
Double fireball on the approach. First time touch the ground in a few seconds. At those ranges, not a whole lot Linnet can do about that. Better ground buttons for contesting on the ground.
Yeah. However, now
Makes a lot of sense to
Line
see Phonon on the air.
yeah, has a lot of agency with like CS 22X. That is projectile involved. So Luful probably will have to be a little more careful, even though he does whiff punish the dive coming in. Cycle still Miller's by the end of this combo. Yeah, CS on wake up.
Oh, yeah, ready for it.
So
Probably just
Luful,
assumed a button was coming out, so
yeah, Luful was
going
spaced.
sort of me the chain shift.
Basically, Luful was spaced out in a way where the threatening buttons from Line, even post CS, you know, advancing the frame, there was no actual real threat for him. I think like 5B would have traded, well, 5B would have lost because it's 7. 6B would have traded, and so he really just kind of, you know, chump checked Miller into wasting his CS. So that's an advanced tactic. Okay. Didn't believe in the jump in against the ground fireball. Yeah, now rushing in. I think Luful is really good at making you kind of jumpy and nervous, so you can hit him out of his gorillion of, you know, air actions. He certainly can make it difficult.
Yeah, none of those are actually all that safe.
Oh my god.
We built a lot of meter off repeating that option.
Yeah, it does get Celestial. However, Miller's going to eat a lot of damage off of this.
Yeah. Alright, now we have the big chain shift to spend.
Oh, dive kick. Didn't believe in the OTG. CS. Would have liked to see a dash out. Did get the punish, but didn't believe.
Miller was holding his options so long there to try to get in and then have the chain shift to apply a mix-up, but didn't quite work out for him.
Yeah, falling fireball. Miller is probably going to have to start trying to challenge that sort of falling fireball. Oh no. So that does have head involved. Okay. They do say that styles make fights. I know Glacie is not as liberal with air normals and air, mobility as Lufel is. So this is going to be something that Miller's going to have to adjust to. Nice shield there.
Interesting option on the dive kick. Kind of just wave dashing out of the corner there. Picks up a little space. Ends up being enough. Gets him to the other side to pick up this combo, get him into the corner, and get his game plan started.
Nice.
Yeah, JA really safe, hard to deal with option when you have chain shift.
Yeah, probably should spin a bar here because he was going to overflow into 200 meter. And then the walk-in straight into the 2B. If Lufel finished that combo, that would have gained game 2, and this is looking like game 2.
All right.
2-0
really
for
nice
Lufel.
Performance play after resetting back to neutral there. Some tense situations. I think, the 3, 4, 5, how many jumps does this character have effect?
Yep. Which is
really
funny.
Scary to try to anti-air.
Because Line is the one with multiple jumps. Fonon is just the one that has all of these air normals and options. Let's put her into the air. Makes it really awkward. Nice.
Full celestial spend here. Spends it mostly just to get, to stay alive on defense. But now they have the meter to use. Applying the flips.
Yep.
Applying mix up to the forehead. Goes for the low option on the 2A.
Yep.
Just the edge of that, but that's a long button.
And the increased fireballs increase the frame advantage from those falling, options from Lufel. So install, I think, is like pretty perfect. Oh my god, nice fuzzy 5A. Install is like very perfect for a player, I think, like Lufel. A welcome addition to his
I agree.
kit. Okay.
I think with the added bonus of being able to spend it to give yourself more plus frames in some situations, ties together really nicely.
Nice combo. Tried to pick up a throw there, but Lufel, he's like, hey, you're not going to throw me. I'm going to press on this. Miller's going to have to adjust the kind of pressure that he does. Install. Okay. Yeah, there's the overhead charge dash B. It's definitely Lufel's world right now.
Able to cash on the install.
I'm honestly surprised. And of course, I'm not as seasoned as either of these players in this matchup, but I would have thought that 2-2C or maybe 2-2X would be on the table. Tried to delay CVL to catch him. Nice tick throw. That's a big amount of damage on that throw. There we go, 2B.
So Miller with a lot of health to chew through here.
But should get the cycle as long as he doesn't get shielded.
Get all the damage you need in a couple of touches, but back to neutral.
Yep.
Oh no!
Okay.
The Omega Hien.
So there is the answer to my question. I think Miller thought a falling fireball was going to be there. Instead, it was Charge JB, the Dog Petter 9000, and that counter hit her out of the 2-2X. Ooh. Nice! Does air to air. Finally making a direct call out to jumping.
Nice pick up with the fireball too. Gets him all the way to the corner off of it.
Counter hit 6
dash C.
That was dash
really,
B.
really good button in those close-up situations.
Okay.
Quick concentrate. That's probably gonna. Oh man, one shield gets the cycle back to Fonon.
Yeah, I think the string that Miller wanted to do was intended to catch jump out, but pushed out.
That's such a bad situation now. Alright, we still managed to keep the reset. I was a little close there for Lufel, but... Alright, all the way to the corner.
Plus frames. There we go.
Nice counter.
There's force function. Nice, good block.
Stand shield. Stand block, actually, for that one. Okay, and the roll comes out. Gets the position. This is the range Lene wants to play at. Checking any forward-backward movement. EX to make that safe. Then says no more neutral, please. Tries to run in Siva, or regular bail off.
Very good VO. Falling jump normal here from Fonon. Not going to kill, but the next hit is going to give the round to Lufel. Nice. Oh!
Oh, man.
Dash through. So I think that was dash 5B. ended up being 4B or essentially 6B. Yeah,
Oh,
can't
man.
fall
Yeah,
into
you just
that
can't
too
beat that
active.
button. The head involved.
Probably needs to EX Hien falling to slow his air momentum. I think getting caught into Luful's pace as far as the wave and, you know, battalion of air normals and specials is kind of dangerous. Miller really trying to grasp at something.
Constantly moving in neutral in a way that you don't usually see out of a lot of phonons.
Nice fuzzy 5A from Miller there. Good, nice. Quick throw. Have to be careful of the Luful VO right on time.
Quick
Oh,
1-2. Oh man,
fell right
size.
on top of that. I got caught by that too. I can't be mad. I've gotten hit by that.
Yeah, for sure.
Speaking of 4, we have 4 straight for Luful. He's cooking right now. I can see him, you know, with this smoke break. He's got his music on, big chillin'.
Yeah, looking pretty locked in. Just another Saturday night. Saturday
day. He's locked in for life after all. Locked up for life. Okay. Nice. Finally lands the 6-6 force function on an air action from Phonon. I wouldn't spend a meter here if I'm Miller.
It's a pretty cheeky reset point.
Nice.
Man,
Gets the landing 5A.
Going.
Oh, but didn't believe in the combo at the end. Okay, shield.
Yeah, I got the most out of the drop combo, managed to turn it into a pretty long block string. That's the cycle over to Phonon here. Chain shift spent, that'll definitely give the conversion. Phonon not a character who really has to worry about where she hits you on the screen a lot of the time.
Yeah. Nice overshielding from Luful. Yeah, so Luful has been very greedy about late shielding to make sure that he's maintaining cycle. It's one of those things, I think, that players who are ahead in, you know, game count or momentum, it's one of those things, oh my god, that's gonna combo, that keeps
that was swanky, damn.
Players who are trying to fight back from a deficit behind. It's like you have to make something happen, which means that you generally are going to swing into your opponent, and being able to just shield
so the shield's ready to catch that.
Yep. Puts you in a prime position to win more, basically. And that is kind of what Luful is doing in this round. Yeah, the back jump actually losing the cycle for
your
Miller.
Opponent, then. In those scramble situations, if you slow down a bit and stop swinging, you can get grid break, you can really turn things around after that.
Yeah. But there's agency too, because if you slow down and wait, you know, someone can take their turn on you, basically like that. If you aren't confirming, you know, your hits, you know, I think that was intended to be more of a tick throw situation for Miller, but Luful is like, hey, I have CS, I have this resource, so...
JB didn't quite confirm there, off to turn it into a block string, but Miller gets the best of it.
Uh-oh, dropped the combo at the end.
Good way to check any button presses there. Pretty respectful, really, on the operate from both players, I think. Yeah, like delay 2A mash, fairly respectful options.
I don't know. I think Luful was being quite disrespectful, but
well, there you go.
He is benefiting from that. Nice, good call out. So Miller should be able to run some higher tier pressure here because Luful cannot overshield. Okay. Oh, could have had a whiff punish.
Probably looking to get the next cycle.
I mean, he's almost guaranteed the next cycle here.
Yeah.
As long as he does not donate like that. However, does have the overhead hit. Didn't believe in an extended combo. Yeah, that doesn't matter because Phonon did not have invul reversal available. So you definitely needy after that. Miller on the board. Okay. Very good jump scouting from Miller. Has to be cognizant. Maybe wants to slow down his pressure because, oh, got caught moving thinking that Luful was going to J4B over him.
Luful kind of backing up a little bit more in some of these pressure sequences.
Nice
looking to catch reckless forward movement, but the throw connects. That's going to give 1A opportunity to start the pressure there. Spends the chain shift before it's gone, manages to get something on the very last frame, like before the cycle.
Has to be really cognizant of his combo ender. Nice. Does not go for the metered ender because that would have put Luful over 100 meter, giving him access to the CS reversal.
Stabilizes the combo afterwards too. Going to get 2.6 at a good Oki setup.
What's up, Jan? Nice. Grid break. I don't know if this is going to allow him to kill. He might have to spin another bar to do that. Yeah, he's going to have to spin one. Oh, he probably needed uppercut super, but worked out either way. And yeah, Jan, he has been playing for almost 10 years now. Maybe 10 years. He's a long running Under Night player. Yeah, great shield on the jump in.
Just the tip of that 2A connecting leading to... Oh, alright, I'm over here now.
Mm-hmm. Oh. Nice. DP. Yeah, plays a lot of things. Including CVS 2. I got 10-0'd by him last night. Nice shield. Okay. Yeah, so Miller making his way. Does get whiff punished, unfortunately, and the fact that he used force function meant that he lost blocks on the cycle.
Those projectiles pretty active on the ground. It's hard to sneak around those with something like a counter. Linus is almost more like a sidestep.
Nice, good 5A. I would really like to see Miller. Oh, didn't get that.
Good start. Oh no, press the button was too slow after that. I don't know how plus that is.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Dive kick. Oh, got caught in his movement after a post shield. Yes, he has to make it safe.
One chance here. A lot of meter.
Oh, I'm pretty sure Miller meant to do dash force function, but there was some sort of input error. What? Didn't press all the buttons? Okay, CS.
To save the veil off for another EX mix-up.
Okay. Has to be very careful, CS. There's a VO potentially. Yeah.
Oh, there it is.
VO or IWEX. I think Miller probably wanted to IWEX at the end. I think Phonon might have died. Unfortunate circumstance, but Miller does have near 50 meter. Next hit will get him close to over 100. But he has to get the hit. Nice dash through. Needed to stay in place. Got caught moving too much.
So wide on the ground too. If you're trying to move back and forth on the ground as Linne, easy to get clipped.
Yeah. Okay. Oh my god. Scary situation. Yep.
Playing patiently, getting some shield.
Oh, nice! Was able to jump
in.
through that, even
Certainly
through the
install.
install.
Cycle too after this.
Well, if there's overshielding from Luful, he can lose it just like that, but gave it right back. Oh, wasn't able to 2-2 in time, and so now again he's behind the 8 ball. Luful can decide if he's going to spin meter or not. Probably not. Next hit is going to kill. Good shielding. He caught him airborne.
Yeah.
Okay. You do have to worry about EX reversal.
Sort of jump back option.
And veil off. Okay.
Yeah. Meter to spend here. Probably looking to get into install off of it.
The shield was slightly late, so wasn't able to get the cycle off of that.
Change shift.
Nice shield. Oh
yeah,
my god.
Good shielding. Oh, a whiff.
No Luful really.
Some kind of stagger with the veil off.
Oh, this is so scary. You cannot shield at the wrong part. Nice! Got the punish there. Nice. Okay, so Miller won't be able to kill off of this, but he can set up a situation. I would have spent the bar there because you would have gotten back to 100. Nice.
Oh,
there's the throw. Yeah. 4-2. Miller fighting back with 2 straight.
Yeah, Linne with nasty strike throw from every angle.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be on the ground. I mean, it's nasty on the ground, but surprising air options too.
All right.
Pretty respectful start.
Nice tick throw here from Luful.
Oh man, the forward tech catching Phonon by surprise.
Yeah, the tech into dive kick, kind of repositioning himself. One of the nice things about fighting, one of the nice things about fighting against Phonon is, even though her DP is like pretty powerful, like it's good, it doesn't track you. So, you can weave in between the spaces if you are, lithe and fast, like Linne is.
Like Linne is, yeah. Big. Oh, never mind. Okay, we're gonna want to spend that for. Right.
Yeah.
We're gonna win the next cycle too. I was about to say, where's the change shift?
Yeah. So he was basically threatening to, do something there. Nice roll. We're out of there. I wouldn't be surprised if I see an install attempt coming. However,
just forward with the button.
Yep. Catches coming in.
Just trusting the 5A there.
1 bar. Yep. Caught the crouch.
Yeah, that J mix-up so gross. With the chain shift available, it's really, really hard to block that.
Now Miller has a lot of momentum. Oh, but got overheaded.
Yeah.
Lethal stealing
Dash
that
B
momentum
increase, also
right back.
something you just always have to keep in your mind.
Okay, ascend. Good shielding. Oh, didn't recognize that he had the opportunity to punish the Dog Petter 9000. Okay. I'm going to make that catch on, by the way. That normally is the Dog Petter 9000. Okay. Yeah, the delay falling fireball.
Yeah.
Really good trick in the Phonon Arsenal. Okay, ascend. So a lot of ground to work on. Yeah, that's basically a safe meaty. If you reversal that, it will not be on time.
Not a lot of health familiar, but a lot of resources. And it's not going to matter.
Yeah.
Starting that next round with 200 meter could be worse.
Install. Nice, good
Stays
challenge.
Safe, catches the dash B. Trading buttons back and forth here. No solid confirms quite yet.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, Phonon, you would expect to be able to convert off that probably.
Green
Tricky
shield
timing, or
whiff.
maybe just actually out of range.
Yeah, even the late CS to protect did not allow for a punish. There we go.
Wow,
Finally
what a bait
dash
the VO.
block and bait the VO. Luful quite known for his VOs. Yeah, extended combo is going to bleed out that VO timer. And Miller, dash
able to
DP
get-
probably
falling
would have been
button.
there. Yep. Okay,
Yeah,
CS.
still a cycle to work with, opting to just spend it.
Yep. Again, Luful kind of greedily stealing a turn on your defensive CS. And he is going to get access to the next cycle.
Do you think we saw that
With
earlier in the
punish.
set as well? Luful opting to, apply a meaty button instead of respecting the chain shift.
Oh, and
Works out for him here
Luful
too.
going to make him watch with the additional jump. 5-2 for him.
Okay. So not out of the game yet here for Miller, but Luful definitely not going to get quietly reverse swept.
Oh, snatched out the air with the charge. Oh my god. So it slightly went higher than the 2C and then traded later with the 2C. Miller trying to shield to make sure he gets the cycle, but Luful forcing a whiff beautifully. It's like, yeah, you're not going to steal the cycle from me. I'm going to be greedy with my shields. You don't get to be. Yep.
Oh man.
Safe meaty DP. Luful kind of back in that mode.
Just taps the toes and then jumps back. I wonder if it might have been looking for 4B and got a little too high in the input.
Yeah, I have to think so. Yep, tried to steal the throw. Nice. Grid break. Meaty 5C. That's a big starter. So Miller should be able to both kill and have some meter left over. Gets back to 72. Back on the board.
How does the
However,
refund work for that again? Is it you keep 50 if you spend it in Vorpal?
good question. I don't know the minutia for that. Somebody in the chat, if you happen to know, I know many of you are studious, please let us know. Okay. So,
Something you kind of don't notice until you've been playing with the systems for a while, but the Vorpal meter bonus on, you spend resources, but you get a refund back if it hits. Just a CS refund. All right, well.
yeah, that would be crazy if IW actually gave you a refund for spending. That would be quite bad, I think. Okay. Oh, that actually blew up the
man.
force function. Miller thought he had the correct response. Okay.
A lot of skilling
there's
on
a
that
punish.
combo. Miller managed to get a surprise tech forward.
I would do a quick combo that spins a bar. There you go. Can you steal back the cycle?
4K.
Try to delay
tragic.
throw. Oof.
Yeah, the concentrate input may have been intended to be AD or something.
Oh, what a excuse me. That would have been a great potential combo. Overhead.
Oh man. Yeah, a little bit off on the fuzzy timing for the dash B.
Send 4K. Oh!
Shielded, but chain shift. Oh,
Yeah,
man.
pushed out.
Luful
Gets the
knows
whiff
what
punish.
to do in these chain shift interactions.
Yeah.
Simple as.
Miller's gonna die here. 6-2. Looking very clean right now.
All right. Would love to see a couple more games from Miller. I think he's got it.
You know, 7-6 looks better, but we'll see if he's going to be able to get there. Getting sniped out the sky yet again from the Dog Petter 9000. Again, Phonon, that was almost 3,500. Nice shield. I think maybe if he had opted for 5A instead of 2B, he might have been able to catch it. Normal gets thrown by defensive throw there. Oh my goodness.
Manages to stuff the dive kick too.
Yeah.
Gets the most out of the situation afterwards with a grid break on the combo reset. Lots to
Lethal
spend
looking
here.
pretty good, yeah. Gonna CS,
We dead?
VO.
Oh yeah, we are.
It's gonna be close. Yep, there it is. Set
So that was a
point for
regular
Luful.
veil off instead of a cross-cast veil off. Only a few characters can do that, I think.
Yep. If you have something that locks somebody in place for long enough, you do have the ability to do that. Going on can route for that. Nice confirm from Luful. This is looking quite long for Miller at this point. However, Tex out of the combo, has an opportunity. I would drop the combo. You don't want to give Luful access. There we go, that's fine. He just wakes up. Again,
Wake up
we kind of talked about Luful being greedy. There's the expectation that he's going to use the resource, but he's been ahead of Miller at the turn basically every time here. Dashed into that.
Good choice on the roll, but
I think he's going to die. Yeah, he's going to make him watch. And that's going to be 7-2 for
Was that
Luful.
a creeping edge I saw on that route?
That was indeed a creeping edge.
Oh my.
Congratulations. Looks like the East Coast got some of its revenge from Khan, where they were knocked out by Midwest in the team tournament this time. So, great sets. We did edge, or Luful did edge there. Thank you all for playing, and of course, thank you for commentating with me today.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Am I back on for tomorrow, or is it are the Southeast folks providing commentary?
I'm pretty sure the Southeast is going to have their own team, so that will be streamed on Chovy Salt. So look forward to that. I believe she volunteered from 1 to 5, so roughly around the same time frame here. But please look forward to more sets. I can tell you ahead of time the sets that we have lined up for you. So this is going to be, and I don't know the order quite yet, it's going to be Omen, who is a Seth from Cali Danisen, versus Jack, who is a Gordo from the Midwest. We're going to get Spaldo, who plays Gordo from the Southeast, versus Havard, who plays Akatsuki here in the Midwest. We have Slow, the up-and-coming Pacific Northwest PNW Line, versus Duckator Kaguya. That's a matchup I don't think I've seen that much here from the Midwest. And then finally, I think our kind of final set is going to be Yona, who is in this chat right now. Yona and her Seth versus Ankle Gators Fatista from PNW. And that's going to be an East Coast versus PNW match rather than either of those regions against the